checking connection.
Good.
Oh, I'm not on the Wi-Fi. I wonder if I should be. Well, too late now. Okay, we're live on Instagram.
Hi, Instagram.
Scoot on
Let's
in.
see. How do I, oh, there, look, I can see that we're live.
Oh, good.
Oh, this is weird. I'm looking at myself, looking at my phone, looking at comments. Okay.
Hi. Oh no, I can't.
Close.
You can scooch a little bit if you need to, Katrina. You can scooch. Yeah, you're not horrible.
Okay.
So
Great.
Okay.
Here, maybe we'll all scoot this way. That way M can scoot a little bit too, because she was about cut.
There we go.
We are up close and personal. Instagram, how's the sound? Can you hear us well?
Got lots of people joining on Instagram.
And Facebook and YouTube are starting.
I'm going up the shirt. It's just happening.
Cecilia says hi from Wisconsin. Hi, Cecilia.
Hello.
Chelsea, hi from Michigan.
There's clearly something
Who
wrong
do we
with my
have
contacts.
joining on
I can't read that
Instagram? They said perfect. Is that for our sound?
I think so.
Oh,
Loud and
good.
clear. Yay,
Good. This is the first time we have gone live on Instagram, maybe this year.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So that's really exciting. But we have a super special show for you today. And so I'm going to cross my legs like they are. Anyways, we have a super special show for you today. And so we wanted to make sure that we were also live on Instagram. Because if you haven't seen it already, we are going to do a Q&A with our aromatherapist, which we're really excited about. We're just getting back. I know that a lot of our customers bought a lot of the May the 4th and Revenge of the 5th oils. So you can ask us questions about how to use those oils or fun DIYs that might go with it. I mean, we're just really here to answer all of your aromatherapy questions. So we're gonna wait just like 30 more seconds, let people join. April, good morning from San Diego. Misty, good morning from Texas. And while you're all joining, if you didn't see the email, we said get your question, your aromatherapy questions ready, get a pen and paper ready so that you can write all the notes down during this live.
We've got some people joining from Instagram. We have Cheryl Brittendell. Hello from North Carolina. Oils by Joni says, hi ladies, it's been a long time since I've been able to join. Moon Lily 1013 says hello from Vermont. Ms. Jennifer says good morning from Sacramento. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
One of our comments says, what's the stick in front of the Facebook camera?
What's that? I think they can see the Instagram.
The Instagram is there. So if you see a stand, it's the Instagram. You moved it a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Katrina's face is cut off by a stick.
That's okay.
So I think we have quite a few people who have joined, and of course people always continue to join during the lives, but we have realized that we have done maybe a poor job sharing with our customers the importance of aromatherapy certification here at Plant Therapy. And we really felt like it was important to do this live and to share that with our customers, because we are, a leading expert in the aromatherapy industry, and there's a reason for that, and it is because our team is backed by an insane amount of aromatherapists. So from the very beginning, from the very start of Plant Therapy, I received my aromatherapy certification, and then it has just expanded since then. So if you didn't see the email that we sent, we have 12 aromatherapists, certified aromatherapists on staff. That ranges from operations, purchasing. Do we have someone in purchasing? Retail, product development,
Mixing,
customer satisfaction, mixing. Like, our aromatherapists are across the whole entire company in basically every single department, if not in every single department. It might be every single department that we have an aromatherapist. And not only do we have 12 current certified aromatherapists, but we also have, how many are going through the certification program right now? I read the email, I sent all the information.
I don't know. A lot.
It was yes.
I think we have close to like 20.
Yeah, because it was like 14 that are going through.
Yeah, so we send our our teams through 2 different courses currently. We work with AromaHead for the Aromatherapy certification, and I believe that's where the 3 of us are all certified.
Yep, from AromaHead. Yep.
And then we are also working with a new program called Aromatherapy in Action that is also a certification program, just a little bit different of a format. So we're really excited about that. So I think we have 10 in the AromaHead program and 14 in the new program that we're working through. So definitely a huge initiative that's
like a third of our employees will be certified aromatherapists. Seriously, it's like about a third once they all finish.
Yes, definitely. And we are it's something that's really important to us.
Yeah.
We have an aromatherapy committee that really oversees a lot of our safety decisions, approval of oils, things like that all across the board. Having that information and that expertise is something that has always been important to plant therapy, and it continues to be just a really large initiative for us.
Yeah. So we are starting to get some questions. So the first one, I've seen lots of people ask it, how long does it take to complete the program? So for AromaHead, because I think we can easily speak to that, and that's what we send, and in the past have sent most of our employees who wanted to get certified in aromatherapy, that's where we've sent them. We probably see anywhere from 6 to 18 months, would you say? Yep. Is how long it takes?
A lot of that time is with case studies.
Case studies, which are huge.
Very intensive case studies, and there's a really comprehensive essay that you have to write to of your own choice. I think I wrote my essay on the history of distillation.
Oh, that's cool.
What did you guys do yours on?
Mine is the blog post, actually, Can Essential Oils Be Ingested?
Yeah,
I'm sure it's maybe been edited. I don't actually know, because it was a long time ago. That would have been, I mean, I've had my certification for probably close to 8 years now, is when I got my certificate in aromatherapy. So if you want to do a blog search for Can Essential Oils Be Ingested, that was my favorite.
That's awesome. I always encourage anyone who's going through the program, when they're doing their essay, to choose something that they're interested in, that they may not know a lot about, and that can really benefit our customers. And so I did my paper on chakras, and it was before we had a chakra line, and it was something that I didn't know a lot about, but I was really interested in, and so I used that as a pathway to learn more, and really fell in love with that side of aromatherapy.
What is great about aromatherapy is, so you take this course, you get your kind of base knowledge, but there are so many branches. You can
many branches.
You know, you could focus on young children, senior citizens, pets, essential oils, and their energetics. Like there's so many different ways that you can take it once you have like your base, and then you can really figure out where you want to hone in on.
And if you didn't read the email, I recommend you go find the email. We would have sent it yesterday morning, probably. Yeah, I think it would have gone out yesterday morning. So go check it out if you haven't, because it also gives you a list. It's not a comprehensive list, but it is a list of our aromatherapist expertise. So not only do we have our certificates in aromatherapy, but a lot of our aromatherapy have branched out and become specialists in different areas. So one of the questions that I saw we have is, do we have anybody going through pet aromatherapy? And I don't think we have anybody currently.
That's right. Yeah.
But this one right here.
So yeah, we have myself, and then Sharissa Anderson, who is also certified in animal aromatherapy.
Was Sharissa the first?
I was the first.
Oh, you were the first. Okay.
And
then she followed
up.
Okay.
Yeah. So with that, I've personally taken several different courses on animal aromatherapy, though, and I've worked with a holistic vet to learn more about, the veterinarian side of things, to make sure that what we were recommending is something that is absolutely safe. I've looked at more of like the subtle aromatherapy with pets, things like that. So again, pets is kind of an offshoot, but even within pet aromatherapy, there's even more offshoots that you can really get into. And it's been a lot of fun. It's really exciting, and it's where Pup and Pony was born from, was taking those courses and really figuring out what we felt was the best option based on that education to move forward with animals and our customers.
Yeah. And we are also, I see questions about Kid Safe. We are also experts in Kid Safe aromatherapy. And we were lucky enough to work directly with Robert Tizerand. He works with plant therapy directly for years, probably 4 years or so, and it really got to the point where we felt like we had enough education, enough experience with Kid Safe aromatherapy that Robert went off to do other, bigger and better things, because we worked with him for 4 years so closely developing our Kid Safe line, and him really just educating us on what makes an oil Kid Safe or not. So we have Kid Safe expertise, nursing and pregnancy expertise, Pet Safe. We have multiple aromatherapists who are experts at organoleptic testing, the chemistry of essential oils, blending.
Someone asked about hydrosols, and I know, Katrina, you took a hydrosol course, correct?
Yeah.
And I know Ellen Brenner, who also is a plant therapy aromatherapist.
Lori as well. So we have quite a few aromatherapists that focus a lot on hydrosols and what that means and how we can best take care of them, because those are a little unstable, a little trickier than essential oils.
They
for
are,
sure.
Yeah. So there's a lot. So that's why we were like, hey, we're not doing very good at sharing this information with our customers. Let's jump on this live.
And I think we get some really unique experience as aromatherapists for plant therapy because we have such a wide offering of products, and this is what we do all day, every day. We're looking at oils, we're looking at hydrosols, we're looking at carriers every single day, and I think that's incredibly powerful, and it really helps hone in that expertise. I read a quote once that said, knowledge is only rumors until it lives in your bones, and that is something that has stuck with me forever. And I feel like being a plant therapy employee, it really takes that knowledge that it really infuses into who you are, and I think that's really unique when it comes to aromatherapist, is just having that daily exposure.
Yeah. And someone did ask, like, do you do more certifications to keep up your certifications? Like, how do you keep up your certifications? And definitely a lot of our aromatherapists have chosen to continue their education. But just like Emily stated, just working at plant therapy, getting questions from our customers. I mean, we are constantly, the industry is constantly changing, the needs are constantly changing, and that in and of itself, just being a company that works directly with, thousands and thousands of people, I mean, really is what keeps up our education, right?
And we do ask our aromatherapists to receive 12 continued education credits per year. So it is, not only are we getting that exposure, but it is an initiative that we ask that the aromatherapists do that in order to just stay on par with what is going on in the industry, and also to just learn new things and expand that education base.
Yeah. Tiffany wants to know where Danny is. He's waving in the background. Danny's waving in the background. Okay, let's see. There's some comments. Emma's checking Instagram to see if we have any questions on Instagram. But we are getting some questions about what this is. It's a copper still, a small copper still. It's really for looks. We've never personally used it. You can use it, but really we buy it because it's beautiful.
Isn't it beautiful? I want one so bad, and these are pricey.
Yeah, you would put the plant material in here, you would start this, and it would warm it up and go down, and then it's the little drop.
And that would produce
I don't know how much you
small
can
amount.
Very small amount, but it would probably be really fun to do.
We did have some more technical questions.
Okay, good.
Asking about using essential oils for respiratory support when you have asthma. And I think that's a great question because as an asthmatic myself, I can tell you that certain essential oils can cause asthmatic reactions in those who do have asthma. And with that in mind, you do have to be careful when you're introducing new essential oils and you're using them. So what I typically like to do with being someone who has asthma is just start slow. Introduce 1 or 2 essential oils into my routine and see how those impact me and expand over time. But there are a lot of really great essential oils that can be helpful for those symptoms that you might experience, such as as, your conifers. They're really fantastic for breathing. Some of your mints, your eucalyptus, things like that, really beneficial. I just recommend starting slow and making sure it's a good fit.
My favorite way to do that is to take 1 or 2 of those oils and then put it into our healing balm.
Oh.
Blend it up really good, and then you can use it as like a nice chest rub.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
So that's another way to try it if you really kind of want to make sure it's gentle at first so that you can handle it, is diluting it down pretty far. And then just watching your body and seeing how you react. Everybody is going to react a little differently, so it's very difficult to make a blanket statement like, this is the best for this, you have to do it this way. We're all so different, and we react differently.
Yeah. I did see a question on here about using essential oils with the elderly. And so that's something that we definitely have a lot of experience with as well. One of the things is that we often recommend is use like the kid safe dilution, right? Because just with like children, elderly people, their skin becomes thinner, it becomes more sensitive, right? And so we want you to make sure that you're diluting better. Off the top of my head, I think that is one of the most important things. What else would you ladies recommend?
Personal inhalers
Yeah.
to start, rather than putting something on topically on the skin.
My foot is
Not
going
feet.
numb, I'm sorry.
Or using passive diffusion,
Yeah.
really in any way, is another really gentle way to kind of get those benefits without taking a larger risk.
But there are also so many amazing, like our healing balm and carrier oils that can be used for a lot of topical concerns that elderly people have.
Or even hydrosols. They're
and
just
hydrosols,
so much more
yeah.
gentle,
Yeah.
but you still receive those awesome benefits of using, the plant material.
Yep. Let's see. When you have an EO question, who do customers email now? There used to be, so you can email cs@planttherapy.com. So we have CS members who are certified aromatherapists, but if it's anything beyond their expertise, then they reach out to the aromatherapist who does have that expertise. So if you have any aromatherapy questions, how do I do this? Can I use essential oils for this? All of that can go to cs@planttherapy.com, and we'll take care of it from there.
And there are often times when CS, they'll reach out, directly to Katrina or I, or really any of the aromatherapists if they're needing, any kind of brainstorming or needing any feedback. It's something that's always been very important to us, is to make ourselves as available as possible when those questions come up for customers.
Yeah. John Jess says, I'm planning on doing my AromaHead essay on either, hold on, the comment went away. I gotta go up there really fast. Okay, on either benefits of EOs with seniors with or without dementia, Alzheimer's, or benefits risk of immune boosting oils with people who suffer from autoimmune disease. Both of those sound so good.
They both sound really good, and I definitely think that there's a need for really diving into the autoimmune side of things a little bit more, because it is kind of that there's a lot of gray area around autoimmune disease, and so I definitely think that would be something that's really interesting, and you could learn a lot.
Yeah. Jennifer Strickland, what you just said about asthma was very helpful. I am an astatic. Is that how you say it?
I can't
Astatic?
see. Astatic.
Does that mean they have asthma?
I don't
And
know.
I have bad allergies.
Oh, maybe. I have always heard asthmatic.
Oh, maybe.
That's an
Yeah,
asthmatic,
maybe. Yeah. Okay. Asthmatic and I have bad allergies. Would you recommend the same oils for nasal congestion? I can never breathe out of both nostrils at the same time.
Oh, that's so hard. I would just start slow and try a few singles one at a time to see what kind of gets you some of that relief. And then if you're seeing that you're responding really well to a few different oils, you can always blend them together to amplify those benefits. Personally, as an asthmatic, the only oil that I've really struggled with is ginger. It makes me really wheezy, and it makes me cough a little bit, but I haven't had a lot of other problems, but I know it is very individual to the person. So
peppermint is one that we often see asthmatics have a hard time with.
Yeah.
So that might be another one that starts super slowly with peppermint if you do decide to try it.
Yeah, those pungent kind of oils can really vary from person to person.
Yeah. Just so many people talking about essential oils being used with the elderly. Like, this is great information. You should do a whole show focused on aromatherapy in the elderly. So this is great feedback, and one of the reasons we also wanted to do this, right? Like, plant therapy has this expertise, and we wanted to make sure that our customers knew that, and then it allows you to be like, okay, now I feel comfortable asking questions, right? So ask these questions. And I think that could be a great idea to do something specific, or at least a blog post, you know, like really breaking that down. So I love that feedback. Do oils have to have a certain level of different constituents to be accepted by plant therapy?
Oh, that's an interesting question.
Yeah, and absolutely. So I know Emily is specifically working with our lab, because we have an internal lab now, and Emily's working with our chemist, Jesse, you've all met him, on building out our library so that we can really define, continue to define what this looks like. So Em can talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so we definitely, there is a standard that needs to be set for every essential oil to have an understanding of where certain constituents fall, and to ensure that the correct constituents are in the oil at proper levels. And so in the past, we've always looked at it very much on an oil by oil basis, comparing it to previous batches to ensure that we have alignment. The initiative that we're taking now is we're taking all of our data that we've had, like, oh my gosh, it's probably 9 years of data, and taking it and compiling
very long time.
Yes, we're compiling it into one location in order for us to really have those set specs. So while we have always done that, we're just really taking all the data and painting that picture so that it becomes really forward facing. We can share with our customers anytime we're sourcing an oil, this is what we're looking for, and this is exactly why. So we're really excited about that, and you guys can definitely anticipate seeing that coming, I would say, before the end of the year, where those specs start to become more forward facing.
Yeah, and Emily and I were just talking about this actually, because in the time that we've worked at Plant Therapy, which is such a short time compared to how long aromatherapy has been around, and GCMS testing has been around, right? But we can think of a couple times where, it was blue tansy, right? Where the chemazoline used to be like over 14% or really quite high in blue tansy, and it's like none of the oils we were getting samples of were passing, right? Because the chemazoline was low and low and low. So that just kind of forced us to do more research, and what we found is that blue tansy was being harvested earlier because of the demand for it, which brought the chemazoline down. So instead of it being like, oh, that doesn't pass, it doesn't meet, ISO standards, it's like, hold on a second, the industry has changed. So then it's like, how can we support the industry, and how can we, right? Like, it opens up all these different floodgates. It's not just about like, does it meet these, certain criterias, but there's much more that goes into it, because you learn, why is the chemazoline, dropping in blue tansy? What's happening? How can we support the industry in that? So,
and I'm glad you brought that up, Retha, because I feel like our specifications, to a certain extent, are going to be soft specifications, just in that anytime we start to see these trends, we're not just going to say, okay, we're moving on, we're not buying that. We're going to keep looking until we find what fits our very specific specifications. It is a flag for us to do research and say, okay, what is happening and why is it causing this reaction? And is there something that we can do to support, to adjust, or is it just a new trend with the oil and it's normal? So definitely it's something that we really don't want to pass up on really good oils just because they are not within these very specific
That
components.
education is so important.
So many different factors that can change those constituents levels that I don't think too many people are aware of. I mean, it's not only where it's grown, the soil it's grown, the time it was harvested, the weather during harvesting, how long it sat before distillation, just a plethora of different external factors come into play. And so you really have to take the time to look at those. You know, if you do see a flag like this is a little off, let's figure out why and see, you know, if it is something we want to move forward with or not.
A really good example is a year or so ago we were sourcing organic Rosalina, and we had brought in a supply of the Rosalina, a sample, and I was reviewing the GCMS and smelling the oil, and it was just different. It wasn't anything that was, you know, it wasn't concerning, but it was different, and it was noticeably different, both from the GCMS and the organoleptic profile of the essential oil. And so I went back to our sourcing team and I said, hey guys, like, what's going on? Why is this so different? And it turns out the Rosalina that we were looking at came from South Australia versus North Australia, and it really provided a different fragrance and a different, you know, chemical profile, still a good chemical profile, but different.
Yeah, that's really cool. Okay, I've seen a couple questions, and it looks like Stephanie, one of our CS employees, is reiterating it because I've seen it come through a couple times now. Is there a substitute for Soluble?
Yeah, so Soluble is an emulsifier, and there are lots of different emulsifiers. So it really just depends on what you're looking for, the formula that you're putting the product in. So that would probably be a better question to send to cs@planttherapy.com so we can get some more information on what we're trying to accomplish, and then we can make some recommendations.
And I think, don't we have a blog post on emulsifiers?
We do.
Yeah.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
maybe search emulsifiers on our blog, and we can get that question. Or you can maybe find the answer to that, and if not, reach out to cs@planttherapy.com. Claudia has a recommendation. Look at the camera that is filming. Claudia, that is hard because we have multiple cameras filming right now. So when we're looking at one, but we will try to do better. We appreciate that observation, that feedback. And then our comments are in a completely different place. So we have to read the comments. So it gets a bit tricky, but I definitely think, I'm like, I don't know which camera to look at, but I think we can do better. So we appreciate that feedback. I am seeing quite a few comments now about recommended essential oils for children with autism. So I think this is a great question, and my first thing is, again, start slowly, right? Especially because, you know, as we know, children with autism can be more sensitive to different things, right? And so start slowly, make sure that they are, reacting positively to that oil, right?
Yeah, I was actually a behavioral therapist before I came to work.
So why am I talking?
So I did work with several children with autism, and loved, with their parents' permission, of course, to introduce essential oils. I found with my experience that starting with those citruses, those really uplifting, bergamots, lemons, very popular, is a great way to introduce gently. And then also to maybe have a little collection of bright oils, calming oils, and sit down with them and let them, you know, experience them and see what kind they like and that they're reacting positively to. I loved using passive diffusion, bracelets, things like that, inhalers as well, to give them control over it too, or when they want to use it, to be able to pull that inhaler out and just enjoy it. So, of course, very individualized, but it can be a really fun experience to have with the children who has disabilities.
I think you nailed it, Katrina. When I think about that experience, you really want to involve them in their own aromatherapy journey. And so picking a few different essential oils that you know meet the criteria for what you're trying to accomplish, and sitting down and letting them smell the oils and tell you what works for them, and letting them create their own blends. And I think that empowers them so much more, and it becomes something that they'll actually use because they made it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I think one of my personal favorite ways to use oils, in a way that I've often recommended in the past, is to close your eyes when you first smell it, because I think a lot of of times we have like this perception of what the oil should be, right? Like we've heard people be like, oh, I hate the smell of that, or you know, like we just have this perception. And I just love to close my eyes and smell the oil and just notice how my body reacts to it, right? Notice how my body's, like just really with nothing else, you know, you're closing off some of your other senses and just smelling that oil. It's really one of my favorite ways to choose what oil I need right now, right? Like what my body, my mind is in the mood for.
Your brain creates that association so strongly, especially when you think of like orange and lemon, rose, you know, we expect it to smell a certain way and our brain expects it to be a different way. So it does help sometimes to just sit quietly, close your eyes, and then, you know, experience it that way.
Yeah.
We do have a question on Instagram that I think we can address really quickly. It's CNY Ager, I believe, is asking, what is the percentage of dilution in your blends, specifically the chakra roll-ons? Is this info on the label or on the website anywhere? So it definitely varies from blend to blend. We do have things diluted where they need to be for that specific blend. In our pre-diluted roll-ons, you should be able to find that information on the website.
They should be on the label.
If you have an older label,
it might
may
not be there.
on there, but now it is. It will say pre-diluted to whatever for your convenience. But you can also find that on the webpage, and if we are missing it somewhere,
tell us.
Let us know, and we will get that fixed, because we do want to make that very available to you guys.
Katrina's been working a lot on label updates, so definitely make sure to let us know.
You don't find any without that information, but if you do, we will fix it, because it should be there.
Yeah, it should. Erica says, we need to see more education posted in Facebook, more EO spotlights to really dig into the oils. So we actually are planning on do this. We're planning on bringing the EO spotlight back. I think doing a weekly spotlight, I believe, is what the marketing team has planned. And you should see that soon, if it hasn't been posted already.
Good.
So yeah, you should be seeing that really soon. But we are going to start like a weekly spotlight again, because we have seen that request over the last couple of months, and so that is something that we are going to start again for sure. Okay, let's see. Gonna get down. Would that change the smell of blue tansy with the chemazoline being a lower percentage? I'm guessing that
it does.
Is,
yeah, it
absolutely.
Changes the scent and the color.
Color.
Yes, the higher the chemazoline content, the darker the oil. So definitely you do see a difference.
I have seen a few questions about the anatomy of cats. So Emily, do you think you can kind of explain the difference between cats and dogs? And
Yeah. So cats, unfortunately, our furry feline friends are divas, and their systems also are divas, in my opinion. So cats lack an enzyme that helps them to properly process essential oils through the liver. And so what we see when you're using essential oils specifically with your cat, you can cause some pretty significant damage over time to the liver, which of course is not a good thing. And so that's why we just recommend, erring on the safe side and not using essential oils around cats or with cats. I know that there are some people in the industry that say otherwise, but all of my research, I tend to lean into the side of caution and just say it's not worth it. There are other modalities that can really help and benefit your kitties that will keep them safer. And so I think that that's something that's really important to consider when you're thinking about aromatherapy and cats.
So do you want to share some of the other ways that they can use essential oils?
Yeah, absolutely.
If they have cats?
Yes, I personally have a cat. I have a very fat, chubby, she is 10 years old now, and she's just like a basketball. I love her so much. And she's also very sassy. That's why I say that they're divas. And I also have 2 dogs, and in general, I don't diffuse a ton in my home. I diffuse if someone is sick or is, we've been exposed to somebody who's been sick. Those are typically the times that I diffuse the most. And when I'm doing that, I just keep her in another room. She's downstairs while I'm diffusing upstairs. Another great option is passive diffusion. You can definitely look at passive diffusion if you have cats in your home. Also personal inhalers, topical topical use on yourself. Those kinds of things are really, just fine to do around or in a home with cats. I just recommend, using caution. You know that essential oils can be harmful to felines, so it's best to just, take caution when you're using them.
Yeah. Lots of questions about inhalers. Is the glass inhaler better than the plastic inhaler? And, just different questions about the inhaler. So specifically with the glass versus the plastic, the glass inhaler is going to last a lot longer than the plastic, but there's nothing wrong with using the plastic inhalers for sure. But if you want to really, never have to throw it away, the glass inhaler is going to be a better option. But either one's absolutely acceptable to use, and both work, fantastic. And then I want to make sure I read Debbie's comment. Debbie says, if people close their eyes when experiencing patchouli, they find they wouldn't hate it like they expect to.
I agree with you, Debbie, 100%.
So now everyone, go close your eyes, smell patchouli, and make sure Debbie knows that you love it. Okay, just scrolling through, seeing if there's any other last questions. So just comments about my kitty weighs 22 pounds.
Oh, I feel so, I think my kitty is 17 pounds, and she's a small kitty. Her frame is not that of a large cat, so she's just fat and sassy and happy,
just enjoying
and very lazy. She's happy, so.
Oh, lots of ha-ha on patchouli. I love patchouli.
Someone was asking what the noise was on Instagram. Sorry Instagram, sorry Facebook. We have our forklift running in our warehouse that's right outside of these doors, so that's what that noise is.
I love all of your suggestions on the inhalers. A lot of customers are wanting us to bring back the plastic inhalers. Tammy says, wish you could make a glass inhaler where the case has a flat bottom so it will stand up. That's a brilliant idea, and I really think that'd be quite easy to do. So that's a great idea.
We have someone asking if we're on any other platforms for our lives other than Facebook and Instagram, and we're on YouTube too.
We are on YouTube. Yep.
Yes.
And as a reminder that although these are live, as soon as we are done being live, they stay on all three platforms permanently. So you always have access to any of our lives on all of the different platforms. So if you're like, oh, I'm just catching it and it's late, you can always go back and watch the beginning of it. So keep that in mind. Let's see, when your hydrosols are tested, did the results ever come back with anything in it? And if it does, is there an acceptable level with plant therapy? So I can't speak about hydrosol testing because it's over my head a little bit.
So right now, our main area of focus for hydrosol testing is around microbes, right? It's a water-based product, so we need to ensure that our hydrosols are free from any contaminants. And we do have levels that are specified at which those are approved. I don't remember off the top of my head what those are. Do you remember?
I don't remember. But microbial testing for hydrosols is the most important. We do constant, regular quarterly testing with pH. Yes. We have our quality team go in to ensure that everything that we have here and that we are giving to you is clean. GCMS testing for hydrosols is very difficult because it is such a high water content. It has to go through several different processes to really get those.
But it's really cool.
Nailed it.
It might be difficult, cool. But the experience. How to get that is really cool.
And with the microbial testing, there are ISO specifications that say this is the level at which a product passes or fails. And our internal specifications are even lower than the specification that's set by ISO. So we are very, very conservative and really want to ensure.
Which is why a lot of our hydrosols are always out of stock.
Yes, yes, definitely.
And we bring them in kind of small quantities at a time, bottle them immediately. It's quite a process to ensure that you are getting clean, safe hydrosols.
So I don't know what question was asked, but I see lots of responses to that question, saying save points for JCAM, come back on July 1st.
Oh, so there was a comment if they should expect some great summer sales.
Okay, so July here at Plant Therapy is our Customer Appreciation Month. So we always go a little crazy, and we do plan to have lots of fun things. I'll share a little sneak peek with you. This July we are going to be doing, what did Jamie call it? Speed discounts or something.
Lightning
like
deals? No.
No. I think it's like speed coupons or
Something.
I don't know. So I'm going to call them speed discounts. I don't know. I don't know what it actually is. But although there will be a discount every single day. A few days in the month of July, we are going to be throwing in like some super high discounts, like 30+% off, but those are going to last for only a few hours, which I think is going to be really fun. So that's my little sneak peek. Speed savings. Jamie Chaffin, look at her coming out to save the day. Speed savings. So we're really excited about that. And we also might have something else exciting that's happening like right before July, which I'm not going to give you any hints because I need to make sure it happens before then. But it's going to be really exciting, and that's only going to make your July Customer Appreciation Month even more awesome. So we're very excited. Yes. And of course, we know our customers love to be involved with our July Customer Appreciation Month. So if you have any ideas, you want us to do this, like, send cs@planttherapy.com an email, and we'll see whatever we can do to take care of you. But it's stressful. The good news is the discounts are already amazing, but we're just like, gonna throw some crazies out there.
Some really good ones.
Yeah. So it's gonna be pretty fun. We're pretty excited. I'm not seeing any other questions.
We've got a question about the birthday oil and whether or not it will be changing this year. We don't currently have that on our roadmap.
It is that year, though,
but
isn't it?
Yeah, so thank you for saying that, and we'll look at that. We'll get right on that. We'll get right on that.
I did think I saw a question. Oh, Amanda says, I love new deodorant scents. That's good because we have some coming. We do have some, but I want to say I have been using grapefruit and cardamom, but we're looking to add a new tamper evidence seal on the deodorants, and we got some samples and you couldn't open it, so that wasn't a good experience. Anyways, but I ended up taking one of those samples home after I cut the tamper evidence seal off, and I was like, gosh, this smells so good. And I was talking to Emily, I don't know what it is. It smells so good. I'm so in love. And she smells it. And she's like, I think this is TR flower. And I was like, oh, I love it. So now I'm totally using TR flower. Will there be baking soda free deodorant coming out soon?
Possibly.
Yes.
Yes, there will be. So we are actually adding one more scent to the baking soda deodorant, and we will be coming out with a couple baking soda free deodorants as well, and that will happen I believe that's in July.
Yes,
I think both of those those will come out in July.
We do have little Miss Moffat who is asking if hydrosols can be used with dogs, and most of them can. Definitely, I like to use lavender a lot with my dogs. That's a really, really great hydrosol to use because it's calming, it's great for skin concerns, all those things. So definitely hydrosols are a good choice with pets.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and now just so many comments about
TR flower.
TR flower and deodorants. Yeah.
I switched to it too because I ran out of my grapefruit cardamom and Retha had an extra one.
I
have both. I go back and forth.
Yeah. I think I love the smell of TR flower. I think I just loved grapefruit cardamom so much that I just started using it when I received the samples. But then, I don't know, I was just like, I just want to smell it. It's so sweet and yummy. It's just lovely. It's absolutely lovely. So besides deodorant, I haven't seen any other questions come through. Em's gonna check Instagram really fast.
TR flower smells like a candy necklace. I love that description.
So sweet. It's so yummy. Oh, it's so yummy. I do want to add, while Em's seeing if there's any questions that we've received on Instagram before we end this live, I want to add, we've talked a lot about different questions that you've had and mentioned the blog. So the blog is a huge resource for all things aromatherapy. So I noticed that Stephanie and some of our CS team were on their linking blog post. We have a blog post on essential oils, using essential oils with people who are autistic. We have, the blog post about the emulsifiers. We have a blog post about preservatives. We have all of the spotlights from the 3 years that we did those. Like, we have a ton of aromatherapy information on the blog. So
use that search bar.
Use it, yes. And the blog has a specific search bar. So when you go to the blog, don't use the one on top, use the one that's down a little bit, and that just searches the blog. So put in anything. Search, can essential oils be ingested? And read my paper. Really put in anything, see what comes up, do some research. But again, if you still have any other questions, or it's easier to just reach out to us, email cs@planttherapy.com. Some of our CS team members are certified in aromatherapy, but if it's beyond their expertise, they always reach out to those that have, like special knowledge, right? Like the pup and pony or whatever that might be. So yeah, how do you spell that flower? Tiare. TR. I don't actually know how to say it. That's how I say it. Tiare.
Nothing really on Instagram. Magix29 does say love the blog posts.
Okay. We do have a blog post on autoimmune disease and using essential oils, so check that out. But we did receive quite a few questions about that, so I think it might be good to do a live. But go and check out the blog post first, and then we'll plan to do a live around that and a live around using essential oils with elderly. Someone commented, we are all getting older. You should definitely do a live about that, and I love that because it's true. So,
how about a blog or a live about things we can grow in our garden to help with our essential oils like lavender to dry?
Katrina is magical.
Katrina is our plant expert over here.
Yeah, that would
she's
be
our guru.
a lot of fun. And we did recently do a live on using essential oils in the garden and using it to kind of deter outdoor pests. So that could be something too to also look into.
Yeah. Okay, 2 more questions and then we're really done. Will the new diffuser stay for some time saving for JCAM, which is our July Customer Appreciation Month? Yes, Lee, the diffusers, the new diffusers, all of them, the TerraFuses and the portable diffuser, they will all be around. Unless they like randomly sell out, but we are really trying to stay on top of that. So even if they sell out, we'll be bringing them back. But yes, those will be staying around. And then do your aromatherapists work from home or in PT office? Both. Most of our aromatherapists are here and work in the offices, but we do have some that don't live in Idaho.
Yes.
And so they work from home. So yep, both. Okay, go check out the blog. Email cs@planttherapy.com, and then continue to watch for lives like this that are maybe not so fancy and put together, but super educational and informational. We appreciate you coming and joining. Have a wonderful rest of your day, a wonderful weekend. Hopefully it's warm because it's warm here. And we'll see you next time.
We'll see you
right?
next time.
Yeah.